Hello and welcome. It is Trauma Monday, but we need to discuss what just happened because I was prepared for the end that was coming our way, and it didn't happen. And we need to talk about it because the music was fantastic this week. It always is good, but there's a very amazing piece of technique that they have used this week to kind of show us what's going on. Before we get going, guys, hello, welcome. I am Clockwork Noodles. I break down the seasonal anime. I have picked 5. If you want to know what those 5 are, check out the schedule on the channel. I am now back on schedule finally after my 2 weeks with laryngitis. But thank you for your support. I am feeling much better. The voice is nearly there now. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel. I have a video going your way very soon. It is my midway review where I will tell you the top 3 anime as of the halfway point. You can then see the final to see how things have changed. My top 3 EDs, my top 3 OPs. There is an ED I cannot stop listening to. It is fantastic and it's number 1. So can you guess what number 1 is going to be? And make sure you join a Discord if you are interested in getting a notification sent to your phone whenever the videos go up. You don't have to be active. I'm generally not too active on there. I intend to make it active when there's more of us. For now, we are just gathering, getting notified. So I need to kick it off. Let's go into To Your Eternity episode 3. Oh God, I love this anime to pieces. The initial recap actually allows us to hear the beauty of the full score at its fullest. Don't really need to talk about the recap, but let's listen to that score. I am buying this soundtrack. I need this soundtrack in my life. And it's great because anime soundtracks, there are some gems out there, absolute gems that I listen to whilst driving. The Attack on Titan soundtrack, anything Hiroyuki Sawano, this is absolutely amazing. I love Kevin Penkin's work for Tower of God and Made in Abyss. Just anime music in general is just next level stuff. But we are here. I have actually got Fruits Basket next. I have a feeling that's not going to be subverting and that will just be trauma. So I'm glad that we got a happy ending on this one. But we are finally getting a name for our boy. She does call him Fu-chan. And there is technically an official name on my anime list, but we for now will call him Fu-chan because I think it's cute. I think it fits him. Fu also kind of just sounds like a sound you make when you're kind of angry. So you just go Fu. I love it. Or oh Fui kind of thing. We get to see how resourceful Perona is this week, and it is for the best because anything later, if she hadn't had a knife on her, she would definitely be chow right at this moment. But we finally get to look at the encroaching bear god, this bear, which is Oniguma, I believe his name is. It's huge. This thing is huge. It also seems to shift sizes at some point, which may be a continuity error, maybe it's not, but it is a god, so we can probably allow it to slide. I won't lie, I was expecting it to be a normal bear. But now seeing that they have chosen to make it a big godly bear, a demonic bear in a sense, it shows us a few differences with this world and our own. Initially, I believed it was a world very similar to our own, but it does seem that it's not the case because we don't really have demonic bears walking around. But it also adds water to behind this ritual, in a sense, until we get to the later on bit, which really annoyed me. So up until this point, when you see the bear, you go, oh, this is why they're terrified, why they're desperate enough to believe in such a inhumane ritual. But an F in a chat for that one guy who actually tried to fire a load of arrows at it. I take my hats off to this guy because he didn't have to and he did die, but he tried. But I really did get worried that Perona would also be on the death list with this bear as it approached her. Does the ritual actually really work? Because this thing comes back year after year after year. I think you need a better ritual if it keeps coming back. I don't think kids are doing it. But let's now talk about the orchestra. We're going to be talking about music quite a bit with these breakdowns, so I hope you guys don't mind. I know enough. There are a lot more technical stuff out there that I don't know, but I can tell you the mere basics. At this point, we are using the full orchestra. It could also be digital, but to me, it sounds like an actual orchestra playing. But again, there are many amazing technological patches out there. People can make things sound like instruments and it's not. Even if it is fake and it is digital and it sounds great, they've still got the full orchestra setting on. We're playing every instrument right now for a big impact because this bear is here. It is big. We need everything playing all at once. It sounds more imposing. Lucky for Perona, the creepy pond has saved her fall. This creepy pond needs some appreciation. I mean, it saves our boy, essentially. March is also one who ends up crying in it, and Perona just kind of got saved. But when we see finally March being taken away by Hayase, finally being found, and I thought at this point I was never going to see her again and I was going to cry, we actually see Fu reacting to thank you. He doesn't say anything at this point, but he understands the idea of thank you because he reacts. As March finally is taken away, at this point they don't question the random stranger she has found in the woods. Also, they kind of got angry about the dad having interactions with her. They don't seem to react to the fact that she's interacted with another man in the forest. But our narrator kicking in when March is taken away because we're unable to narrate this little bit. I love it. As you guys know, I am a huge Kenjiro Tsuda fan. This anime just, it ticks every single box for me. I don't see how I couldn't love this anime to pieces. But let's talk about what March eats. And I got it right, so I'm going to pretend for a minute that we don't know what's coming up. And I was 100% right. I wish I had filmed my reaction live because last week I mentioned the Inca who would sacrifice children, put them on the sides of the mountains and hope for a good harvest. It's drugs. The Incas would actually give them a lot of alcohol, so a lot of the kids would sometimes die of alcohol poisoning, but they would essentially want them asleep on the mountains as they didn't run away from their fate and ended up dying to the elements. That this jelly-like substance is full of drugs. It's a sleep-inducing drug. But what annoys me the most in the entire situation, this ritual, this child sacrifice, which is horrible, is used to appease Oniguma-sama. And the guard literally retorts as the guy screams that Oniguma is awake, that it is just a legend. And that annoys me because if he also believes it's a legend and everyone else believes it's just a legend, you are sacrificing people and girls and young children for no absolute reason. Just a legend, a possibility that it might be a thing. I'm quite interested by the fact that the Inca analogy works. Perhaps this is supposed to be based on the Incas. It doesn't seem like we're quite far ahead technologically, so maybe it is similar to the Incan people. But it is a humane way to ensure that the child doesn't feel any pain when their oncoming death comes their way. The writing on the screen is pretty meta. It also breaks the fourth wall in a sense. I presume it is March's desires, her regrets, her saying, I'm not going to grow up, this is it. But who is she talking to? Is it a possibility she's talking to Narrator-san and Narrator-san is telling her it's for the best, it's okay? It could also be Hayase, that she's just not hearing it. She's probably deaf at this point because she's asleep or in this trance-like state. Could be either or. At this point, the lead instrument is the cello. The cello generally is my favourite instrument, as you guys now know, and it is used to signal something sad, something sorrowful. It brings in a huge depth to its sound. It is beautiful as we see March being laid upon the altar and it's building. The anime is trying to trick us and I don't even know if I can trust this anime anymore. But as we saw in the ED, March is laid upon a bed of flowers. Flowers generally using to show us nature, innocence. Presumably, if she had died, her body would go back to nature. We also see the remains of the last girl being taken out. And every flower on this altar is a spring flower. So this shows us what season we're in. So they're essentially trying to pray for a nice summer. But these are all innocent flowers in symbology. We've got daffodils, snowdrops, we've got bellflowers, irises, and more. These are all flowers you can find, depending on what region in the world you are in, around spring. The iris, the blue flower there, is also one of my favourites. It's also a bellflower in a sense in Japan, where bellflowers are flower that represents a loss of somebody who is very dear to you. They are generally used to remember someone fondly, like if a husband loses a wife, he will have bellflowers out. The music at this point also is very, very foreboding, and we can hear the music starting to build up. It's very slow build, but it sounds absolutely amazing as we can start to hear the sounds coming closer and closer. The music at this point, let's talk about music. It is the minor key. It is sad. It is very low and quiet. We suddenly start to get some female vocalization in as the bear approaches and is getting nearer and nearer. The bear at this point also seems to have shrunk a little bit as he's walking towards them. From his first appearance, where he looked the size of a mountain, he looks a little bit smaller. Perhaps he's got the ability to shapeshift. He at this point looks a little bit more reasonable, like a bear. I've never seen the bear up close in person, but from what I can tell from pictures, they do look pretty chunky. Hayase is a cold-hearted piece of crap. I do not like her, doesn't even give a wink, as the anime subverts us and we see the bear strike and not even see anything. And I did write, she didn't even react to seeing a child die. Well, because she didn't die technically, she's still not reacting to the fact that there's a young child, innocent life, possibly about to die in front of her. Out of the blue, and quite shockingly, our boy shows up. I wasn't really thinking he was going to be a great deal of use in this fight. The boy can't even feed themselves. But I was very, very glad that we didn't essentially see that sequence. It also led to the possibility of her being alive because we don't see a body. When it comes to anime, if I don't see a body, I don't trust it. Many animes have done this thing where you think someone's dead, later down the line they're back. That's why you need to show me a body. And our boy literally lasting about a second, getting his head eaten off. This was me earlier. I've been replaying the Devil May Cry games. This was definitely me earlier going, what do I do? Oh, I'm dead. Never mind. Definitely me, but at the same time, I also got to try it again and again. So this is why I think it kind of reminds me of a game in places, because we see him attempting a new life, trying again. The music now starting to rise very gradually. We have the use of the string instrument section. The violins all starting to slowly build. They answer the call and response. Pretty sure there's a proper name for this technique, but it is a slow build of notes as our boy starts to fight. The slow rise, the rise in the key, showing us hope, showing us that actually, wait, something amazing is about to happen as our boy becomes a wolf. I won't lie, I had this spoiled because I was reading the backstory for Fu on my anime list. And it did say that there was a point when he turned into a wolf again. So he has the ability to turn states. We do see at the end of the preview, he turns back into a boy next episode. But I also think that our narrator might have had a little hand in this, as there's more chance of a wolf taking down a bear than a boy having his head crushed. The music, really absolutely gorgeous. I love the music so much. It shows us the build, it shows us the tension when it needs to. And it starts to change as the situation starts to change. The wind starts to change. The tides start to change. What these people really must be thinking as they see this headless animated corpse slowly becoming a wolf and now attacking what they believe to be a legend, a deity. They really, as we see even Hayase say, this must be an act of God. This is godly intervention. If you've suddenly got a god telling you, no, I'm going to protect this child, you shouldn't be sacrificing that child. When the vocals kicked in and we saw the bear slowly coming down, it sent pure shivers down my spine. I love watching this anime in particular with headphones. It sounds beautiful. And I've got 360 sound on the headphones. It was perfect. Our wolf is learning. It's taking in the environment, taking in the sounds, the experience. The sun set, the close of a chapter, the end of this little arc. And the fight is over. The music now settling back down to wind instruments, the flutes back again. Nice soft things. Nice gentle music, so you don't have to panic anymore. The tension is now gone. It's happy again. It's major again. But absolute clap. We have to give it to the anime for subverting our expectations. I was not expecting March to be alive. I was already prepared to give you guys hugs, telling you it's okay, March is in a better place. She's still alive. I am so happy. But I will still offer hugs for people who actually want them. The wolf is still in the wolf form, but he has won the battle of the gods. But absolute medal to this anime. They normally say give an anime 3 episodes before you make a call on watching it or not. This anime won me over within the first 10 seconds with the music, with the story. This anime is amazing. I love it to pieces. I really can't wait to see where I'm putting this anime on my top 3. I can't actually remember. I have written the top 3 and I don't remember where I put it, but it might be on that list, guys. It might be on that list. Hayase is still a bitch, even though she does give Perona and March a chance to live. But her family will go on forever believing that they are dead. And we're still somehow continuing the fear. Are we still going to have this same ritual done next year? Hayase does technically say the ritual was a success. So I really hope there isn't going to be another child sacrifice the year after. But they are allowing Perona and March to live. Hopefully March will now get a chance to become an adult. Her wish will come true. Hearing our wolf talk, I have to admit it's a bit terrifying seeing this wolf with blood on its face going, thank you. That was terrifying, but hopefully this means that when he turns back into a boy, he might be able to say a few words, start picking up words. He's now in that infant stage where he's picking up words around the room. Quick, nobody swear. Nobody say anything bad. He might start swearing. But it is a level up, and I am so happy I am breaking this down with you guys. This week's episode was truly a masterpiece. The soundtrack, there's a few other animes I can think of where the soundtrack plays a huge role in storytelling. Things like Attack on Titan, but not as much into Attack on Titan. It's there. The soundtrack, anything generally by Hiroyuki Sawano, the soundtracks have been really thought out. Things like Recreators, maybe not so much there, but it's a soundtrack which tells stories. Things like Kevin Penkin, why do I keep saying him? If you haven't already and you're into slightly darker stories like this, go and check out Made in Abyss, because it's got some similar vibes and the music does its best to also lead the story. But absolutely fantastic episode. I am truly shocked. I was not expecting to have the ending we do, which changes things, because I thought I had this anime pegged. I was like, okay, so this anime is going to give us tragedy after tragedy, but it's not. It might have been set in stone initially, and we've got lots of foreshadowing, but it's showing us that actually, maybe now that this orb is here, maybe now that the narrator is here, things may not be as set in stone as we think, and it is supposed to be showing us the sorrows and the happinesses. This is definitely one of those happy moments. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I had so much fun this week, if you can't tell already. Absolutely love To Your Eternity. Thank you for tuning in. I hope you guys too are as happy as I am that March is not dead. I can't wait to watch the next episode. I want more of this anime. I am so happy that there are actually going to be 20 episodes of this anime. I'm so happy it's a longer anime. I need more. Thank you again. Have a good day. Bye bye.